Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a drink. It is time for some Path of Exile 2 discussion. We are now officially in teaser season for Path of Exile 2. This is not something I was expecting after yesterday's announcement that Path of Exile 2's launch date has been delayed for 3 weeks. I thought that this would result in teaser season also being shunted 3 weeks into the future. I was wrong, and I'm happy about that. Anyways, today Grinding Games have given us a number of unique items that are known in PoE 1. Now, they haven't given us any of their stats in PoE 2. What they have done is given us their artwork, both their 2D artwork and their 3D artwork. And people who are familiar with PoE 1 will have a bit of a sense of these items' mechanical identity. And it's a reasonable assumption, although not guaranteed, that the spirit, at least, of that mechanical identity will transfer over into PoE 2. So we have Goldrum. This is now a felt cap. Goldrum is known as an item that provides a lot of resistances early in the game, and it also has an unusually low minimum level, i.e. 1. Atsuri's Acuity are gloves that come from Atsuri specifically, and probably the most interesting thing here is that this is implying that we will have some sort of Atsuri related content in the game. In PoE 1, these are being tied to intelligence-based crit builds, but who knows where they'll be in the future. They were super meta when they came out, and their popularity has definitely faded over the years. Talking of items that's popularity has faded over the years, but that just never quite goes away. Next we have Mjolnir, and Mjolnir has some pretty impressive looking 3D art here, as well as this 2D art that you see here on the actual item's icon. In Path of Exile 1, this causes socketed lightning gems to proc regularly, and that may well be its identity going into PoE 2, although of course they may well change it around quite a bit. Lycosidae is the one that actually looks probably the most impressive here. You can see the stylistic spider on the front of it here. That's also on the 2D art as well, although you're less likely to see that in-game. And this is a shield in PoE 1 with minimal defensive abilities, but that causes your attacks to not be able to be evaded. I really think this is a clear example of how much better the artwork is in PoE 2 than PoE 1. Just compare how bland and boring the 2D artwork on the icon looks in PoE 1 to the really impressive look of the PoE 2 version. And then, of course, the actual item itself, when it's equipped on your character, looks better again. Queen of the Forest is next. This looks a lot more impressive than it does in PoE 1, and it is a move speed based item, and it is something that is definitely aligned to dexterity and specifically to evasion. And the final iconic PoE 1 item that they've released at least these graphical teasers of today is Wanderlust. I'm not particularly impressed with these compared to the others. I think the others all look a lot better, but they're definitely there, and if there's something you're wanting to equip, which they probably are because they're very good leveling items, then they're going to be available in PoE 2 in some form. Whether they end up being the same as they are in PoE 1 or different, we will have to find out. Now, I don't think in reality that you would ever equip all of these items on the one character. In PoE 1 at least, here we have a couple of high-level items like Mjolnir and Atsuri's Acuity. Then we have the very low-level Goldrum, the very low-level Wanderlust, and Queen of the Forest and Lycosidae are things that can be used at a wider range of levels and can be looted at a wider range of levels. So this is probably not going to be what your PoE 2 character is going to look like, but it is cool that we're going to have all of these items in the game. The other thing that's significant here is the amount of work that's gone into the graphics on these. This looks like the aesthetic they're going for in PoE 2 in general. Anyways, nothing here is statistical, nothing here is anything other than these 6 items are going to be in the game, but it is good to be back in teaser season officially. We will also soon have some timeline information for Path of Exile 2 and Path of Exile 1. Hopefully this will include announcements of November events for PoE 1, but we'll see what happens there. I had some suggestions which I put into a video, and I'll put a link to that on the screen now. May your Varlorbs have interesting results.